My name is Hayden. I moved to Waco in 2015 to go to Baylor, graduated in 2019. And from there, I went to Baylor to become a minister and started as a youth pastor and needed a second job to supplement that. So I started working at Common Grounds. It was at Common Grounds that I discovered how to make coffee, what goes into a vanilla latte, and what that vanilla is. And it is a syrup, which is a concentration of sweetener and flavor at the same time.
We try to get water at least like 200 degrees because the final product needs to be at 180 degrees to make sure any possible bacteria is completely cooked out of that. So we get this thing really hot.
And then I got really curious about what ingredients go into the syrup, and so I discovered that it's a combination of different extracts and some form of sweetener, and the main brands don't actually use real sugar. And so just went on a quick Google and looked up how to make it homemade. Fortunately, Balcones Distillery in Waco was doing a cocktail class, and at that class they made syrup right in front of me. So they made a raspberry syrup there, and they used real raspberries and put that in a pot, heated up the water, stirred it together, poured sugar in, strained it out, and I was like, whoa, that's raspberry syrup. So I made some at home and brought it to work and tried it in a drink and realized, oh, this is way better than the product that we're using for our customers. And so I took liberty to bring syrup to work. And I did this for a few months, and then eventually someone asked me if they could pay me for a bottle of it. And I just kind of was like, man, I'll give you one. But they were like, no, I want to buy it. This is really good. This is like an actual product to me.
Yeah, so they're pulling out brand new bottles. Dylan, can you show them? These are like brand new, fresh bottles, and we buy them and order them, and they come in. And then these are reused bottles that have been washed and sanitized. And so you can see the label's a little bit worn on the outside. Sometimes we relabel them, but this bottle has already been used in Waco maybe once or twice. Saves us money, it recycles, and in the long run, we'll be able to save money for everyone else. So.
Over the years, I've had different volunteers and employees that have really helped shape Loyalhood to be what it is today. Unfortunately, about a year and a half ago, those people had to step down for different reasons. So for at least a year, I was doing Loyalhood solo. And I was in the kitchen by myself and doing deliveries and the whole bit all by myself. And I came to a place of just kind of wanting to give up. One of my good friends, she is very passionate about the community of those who have disabilities or intellectual disability disorder. And she said, what do you think about hiring people with disabilities and adding them to your team? And I certainly wasn't against that idea, but I had no education in that field. I only had some volunteer experience. I didn't even know really how to be a boss of an employee, but the good news is they have a job coach. They have someone to be right there with them that you can communicate with. I just was very unaware. All I did was say yes, and then 2 weeks later, I have someone helping me set up interviews, someone coming in and altering my operation to accommodate to that. And I just had a community of people who are loyal to what they are passionate about.
Well, I'm JJ, or Jacob Johnson. I've been working at Loyalhood for like a month and a half or two now. It's been pretty good. It's been pretty fun. Doesn't really feel like work. Kind of feels like a couple dudes making syrup. We'll generally kind of start off getting everything together, or set up like pots kind of normally, like fill them up with about 6 or 12 gallons of water depending on our batch. Start warming that up, pour everything in, wait for it to cook together, and then we'll just start filling bottles up.
My name is Dylan Baker. I am 27 years old, and I've been working with Loyalhood since September of 2024. I started off as the head alchemist, then I kind of slowly went over to capping the bottles and sealing them for sale. So what happens is that they will pour the syrup from the vat. It's about 180 degrees. They will pour it in till right up to the neck of the bottle, and then I will put caps on them, and then I will put this little wrapping around each bottle, make sure each cap is tight, and then I'll get a heat gun, and it will shrink wrap.
Hey, what's your name?
Philip Oxford.
What do you do at Loyalhood?
I'm a production bard. I labeled the bottles,
What's your favorite part of working at Loyalhood?
stickers, and labeling and selecting.
Hi, I'm Michael Stoner. I am the consignment specialist. So I look at orders and then I tally up how many of each specific flavor is needed for orders, and I would pull bottles from the shelves into crates.
Oh, kind of for like the last maybe 3-4 weeks. I picked up deliveries every Friday. I'll kind of start from here once they're done loading everything up, and then I just kind of go along my way. He'll deliver to Common Grounds, Nightlife Donut, just singular personal orders to stay around the community.
Now I have 4 employees that I work with every week, and I spend time with them, and we're already close friends. All of them have very specific roles. None of them really need their job coach anymore, and it was just awesome to watch. In Waco specifically, I think there's a lot of support for anyone who owns a small business. And in Waco, people like to see new things pop up. You know, anytime a new coffee shop opens, the opening day it's going to be packed. And then with Loyalhood specifically, Loyalhood wants to capture all of those small businesses and create a commonality between them. And Loyalhood is basically a collaborating company between different beverage companies. And I'd love to find new ways that I can do that. I really miss making coffee. If I could do that full time forever, that's what I would do. Just need insurance and retirement, I guess. When I do retire, I'm gonna be a barista for sure. So this location, Common Grounds on 8th Street, this is the place that I've worked at the most. I worked here for almost like 3 years. And so this shed where I deliver syrup to is a place that I used to come back here and get other supplies, like cups and lids and everything. But it was also a time where I could just come back here and take like 2 minutes to take a deep breath and get some respite from the amount of people that are in there and the chaos that's in there. And so every time that I come back here, it's like I still get that same respite, and it's so special to me to be able to come in here as a business owner instead of an employee, and I get to reminisce on those times that I had while I was working here. But I wanted to show y'all this like board back here. Just has a bunch of memorabilia from different employees. This is me and my buddy Sam. He's the reason that I worked here in the first place. He's was my roommate in college. So everyone who works here on their last shift, they get to sign their name on here. And mine's at the bottom here. Our last shift is in 2020. It's pretty cool. I work 40 hours doing counseling. It's social work, so I'm talking with kids in Waco ISD throughout the week. And then Thursday nights and Friday nights, I'm doing Loyalhood, and that's a different type of work. So right now with Loyalhood, there's no way that I could just quit my job and live off of Loyalhood. You know, I still haven't paid myself yet for the business. What I've come to realize with other people that have to do this, you know, work a full-time job and do their side business, they really love what they do. The art or whatever their product is, they have to love it in order to continue the process, because, you know, working over 40 is not very fun. When I was doing it by myself, it was brutal. That's what I realize now with having my employees. It's much more doable now, and I'm no longer alone when I'm doing those overtime hours for Loyalhood. Yeah, so whenever I was working here by myself and doing this solo, it took me until about 1 or 2 in the morning, because I did all of these steps by myself. Everything that you see that people are doing in here, you know, we're gonna be done at like 9:30 tonight, and I never want to go back to that, that's for sure. So a huge part of where Loyalhood began was, it actually came from a place of me being insecure about starting a business. I had this fear of starting something and then failing. I was like, I don't want people to think that I think that I'm cool, or I think of myself in this way. You see people online starting things, but we don't really give people credit for starting anything until they've made it. And I had this fear of starting something and failing, and so I never really wanted to make it official. I view myself as a loyal person, and I want to be loyal to things like local business, my local church, and the community that I have around me. I used the word community a lot when I was talking about the company, and well, that kind of sounds like a neighborhood. And so Loyalhood is kind of a combination of those words. Loyalhood is a community of loyalty. All of the people who helped me and volunteered their time, those are very loyal people. And now I have 4 employees, and I have community. I have a Loyalhood. Once again, everyone has overcome some sort of fear or insecurity, including me, and we all did that together at the same time. The changes that I've seen in myself are more astronomical than I could have imagined.
I really like what we do here, like the opportunity it provides for people with special needs like myself, and I like that it's just a comfortable environment. Can be myself.
What's really powerful about Loyalhood is that it doesn't compete against any other local businesses. Coffee shops and bars compete with each other, but Loyalhood being in a coffee shop is not going to create competition. It's actually going to create something that unifies any shop that has my product. As time has gone on, it's just been a slow and steady growth, and it's been a huge part of my life, a huge chapter of my life, and I think it's a piece of Waco now. So, yeah.